We bought a 1994 Toyota Supra Turbo sight unseen. In today's episode, we're gonna pull it into the shop and have a deep investigation with this car. Let's get into it. Supra, huh?
Supra! You ready for this thing?
We gonna finally start working on this thing?
Yes, sir.
Dude,
I'm gonna cut it off before it gets too hot.
Welcome back to the Throttle YouTube channel, guys. My name is Quinn. I'm here with Will, and a few months ago we got this A80 Supra, and we've been pulling it in and out of the shop. We haven't really had the chance to look at it because we've been playing with too many other cars around here, but it's time to start working on our Supra. This is going to be a very fun build. I'm very excited for it, but we have no idea what's going on with the car. We haven't had it up on the rack. We haven't really had a good look at this thing. So Ricky detailed it. He did a beautiful job, but that was kind of the extent of what we've done with this thing. So today we got it up on the rack. We're going to poke around, see what's going on with it before we take it apart for our full build. Let's get started.
Pop the hood.
It popped the hood.
2JZ engine, no shit.
And what did I tell you?
Except the movie car was NA. It had the ugly intake manifold that came over the side. It looked terrible. This is a proper JZ. It's a turbo GTE model. We do have some service records. Ricky found some when we got this car initially, and there was like a whole engine rebuilt on here with some Amazon eBay pistons. So it's kind of up in there. It's got a nice big turbo on it though, and there are some other goodies in here that I see. So we have a brace right here for the serpentine belt. I don't know if that's a super common, I'm assuming it's a pretty common upgrade. I haven't really dove too much into the JZs yet. It's gonna be a first kind of experience. They do have the fuel pressure regulator mounted in kind of a weird spot, I think. And we have an HKS twin spark, which is pretty cool to see. So it's got some old school parts on it, which is pretty interesting.
What is that part? What is that? What is that
HKS twin spark. So it's pretty much a stronger ignition spark box, which gives you better combustion in the cylinder, a stronger spark. Relates to more power, which is pretty cool. But like we got like AN fittings, but they're like normal rubber hose, like just hose clamped onto it. So that's not it. So we're gonna replace all that with some nice AN line. I wonder what this is. Got a big Gretty box right there.
What is that, Will? Can you tell me?
Something to do with the turbo. Poking into the turbo.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a boost controller or something. Where is that going? I have no idea where the wastegate even is on this thing. It's down there. I don't know if that's some sort of boost controller. Does it have wiring going to it? It does. That's open.
Is that just for the pressure readout maybe?
I already see some stuff that I need to get worked on. Nice connections made here. Nice and tidy. This thing is, I mean, this whole engine bay is dipping out, right?
Where's all our coolant, Will?
Oh,
there's no coolant in that thing.
I needed to borrow some of that.
I do appreciate Ricky cleaning this pipe up though. That's not good.
Yeah, no coolant.
We need to have coolant. Check if there's oil, there better be oil.
Yeah. Pretty clean too. So there's that, at least it had oil.
Well, this is a really good start. I think there's a lot of cleaning up to be done. There's a lot of wiring and connectors and mess and what is this? What is that? What does that go to?
It's a ground that is no longer a ground, but good.
Dude, there's so many wires. Just
There's
like
a lot of,
up.
I mean, there's all kinds of gauges that speak to you when you start this thing up. I mean, that's what all this stuff is probably.
We got like a massive proportioning valve with like 6 brake lines on it, and we've got a whole ABS unit over there that's a complete mess. I think this is probably cruise control, so we don't need that anymore. There's a lot of cleaning up to be done in this bay because there's literally things everywhere. What a mess.
Before we take this up, should we give them the little R2-D2 startup sequence? I don't think we've shown the people that.
Oh, the gauges?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna keep those or not. I think they're kind of cool, but at the same time, they're kind of
I mean, so if it's something we delete, I think we should show them before we go up.
Okay, so I don't know exactly what we have as far as wiring harness and all that stuff goes, but if we're gonna be doing something like a Haltech, like an IC7, like the one we have in the Civic would be way better than this. We have a triple A-pillar gauge pod. All of this, Mickey already started peeling this carbon fiber crap cover off, but there are a few red flags about this thing when it starts up and runs. For instance, everything's beeping. The wideband O2 doesn't turn on at all. That's not a good sign. So we don't even know if this thing is tuned correctly. It doesn't have coolant in it, so we can't go out and rip it anyways. starts like an E85 car that's not on E85. Seems to be running okay now. When you first start it and it's cold, it like runs up for a second, then it immediately falls on its face and just shuts off. So definitely not good. The coolant gauge is like stuck on cold, like it doesn't move at all. So the other thing, track ABS. So our check engine light doesn't even come on when key on 2, so it's not even working correctly either. That's probably why the check engine light is off, because it doesn't work in the first place. All right, take it up, Will. What is this? Okay. Can you stop it there, Will?
I would if the button wasn't stuck.
Dude, they're like not even, so not only are these like self-tapping wood screws.
Is this Ricky? Did Ricky do this?
But they're like not even attached to anything. It's got like another plate underneath it. But what is this even bolted to?
You think it was for like underglow at some point, maybe?
I don't know, man. Because it has an under tray right here. I don't know why you would put underglow there. That's not the look. Stop. Stop it. Stop doing this to your Mark IV. That's not the answer. There is some minor, oh, this is worse than I thought it was. It's like coming through. Yeah, that sucks. That fitment is terrible. Like it's like rolled out and coming back in. So there are some minor things, like the door here is hitting the skirt. The skirt's, oh, the skirt is smoked. Look at this thing. That hurts.
Hold on, let me get a better look.
That wasn't even Will. Will smoked the other side. Easy. I kind of like this look though. Exhaust is freaking massive.
That's big. Check this freaking thing out.
Oh my, all right, let's keep going up. This is a huge freaking muffler. Holy crap, dude. Oh, look at this. It's got like some undercoating spray stuff on it. So does the subframe.
Think they're trying to hide some rust or something?
I would guess. I don't think that this is a West Coast car, dude. No, there's no way. This is not West Coast. That's not terrible for like an East Coast car, but you will probably never see that here in California.
Get some
That's
upgraded
the
fuel
axle.
stuff, eh?
Oh, just random zip ties everywhere.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Damn.
What is this, dude? Is this our fuel line?
I think so.
Oh, you're kidding me.
The filter?
That definitely is.
You don't fasten your
What's
fuel
that?
lines like that? Is
No,
that how you fasten
no,
your fuel lines?
I don't do that ever. This is like on the first movie on the Eclipse where it's got like line hanging out. It's this car. Don't do that with your fuel line, please. That's not it, especially this close to the exhaust. What a strange setup. It looks pretty simple though. The rear suspension actually seems very simple, which is nice. Really wide subframe. That's cool. Yeah, it's like the first time I poked around under a Mark IV. So yeah, like the subframe itself is coated in whatever the heck that is. What is going on here, dude?
Honestly, it probably is just an anti-corrosion undercoating.
Undercoating? Yeah, it's like on everything. My guy just has an exhaust hanger here. No exhaust inside on this side. Even the sway bar has it on it.
What kind of suspension we got on this thing?
I don't know if this would fall under a multi-link category. I think it might be. We have like an A-arm style upper and then a multi-link lower. Ricky! Oh, I got the finger. KYB, gas adjust shocks. Those are not factory. Those are replacement. They're not the best replacement either. And this one's leaking. And the bump stop is like falling apart. You see all the junk everywhere.
It's hard to pick it up on camera, but I see it.
I wonder why the upper control arms are so clean. Like everything else is dusty and rusty and I got corrosion on it, but the upper control arms are clean. So I wonder if they replaced that fairly recently. What else we got? Tile wastegate, not bad. Open dump, kind of cool. It's a little grimy under here, but it's actually not terrible. It seems the chassis is more grimy than anything. The engine actually looks really good. Oil pan's clean, the upper oil pan is clean. The block itself is pretty clean. Look, we already got AN lines on our power steering. That's kind of cool.
No leaking?
Nothing from the engine. Well, again, this engine was taken apart and they put pistons and a bunch of other stuff in it because it had no compression, so.
So what is all this?
That's more than likely just power steering fluid, would be my guess. I need to figure out where it's coming from though. It might be oil from the relocation kit. So this is the oil filter relocation kit. So this is where the oil filter is now. On J's, these are actually really not in that good of a spot. They put it halfway up on the side of the engine block. So you'd be like reaching up through here to get the oil filter. You see that round plate up there that's got the AN coming out of it. That's where the oil filter usually is. But we got a relocated kit, so score. So we might actually be able to use some of the parts that are already on this thing to help with the build, which would be really nice. What is that? Who does this? It's like
glow
a,
shift.
it's like a,
oh, it's glow shift.
what is that? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I had to use some of those for the coolant temperature, like the thermistors on the runs for the Z.
They just like lop
Glow
the
shift. That's
lower
probably who
hose
those gauges are from as well.
Oh,
Yeah, you just lob it. There's just a thermistor threaded into that.
So it's just like a little in between, you cut the hose and stick that in there, and then you get coolant temps in there.
probe, yep.
That's not it. We're gonna delete that. We got a bunch of connections not connected to anything, just hanging out. Super red. Got the racks leaking on this side too.
Oh.
So we might just end up getting a power steering rack if that's what it's doing. Because there shouldn't be any fluid over here.
A couple of hoses hanging out.
That's my coolant drain, dude, for when we have to drain the coolant system.
What about this one?
Oh, that's for the battery. Why is it so long? It's the battery drain tray thing. Vaco belts. Yeah, the motor looks really clean. This one's gonna be right for a rebuild, dude. This will be perfect.
How about that? Just
Everything's already nice and clean up there. Means I don't have to spend a lot of time cleaning stuff like we did on the RB. That motor was a mess. If you guys are gonna put AN fuel systems in, don't do this. This is not it. Don't mount your filter like that. And don't let your lines hang out under the car. That is not good. The zip tie isn't even tight, dude. Especially on a Supra. Like if you're buying a Supra and you're gonna build a Supra to high power, single turbo, do it properly. Set an example for everyone else.
yeah, that is a good point to make. Like if you're gonna do big upgrades like that are important to how your engine runs, and then also can be a big disaster if anything happens to that. Like what if this caught on anything on the road and just done.
Dumping fuel everywhere.
Dumping fuel next to the exhaust, your engine runs out of fuel.
Not to mention if your engine runs lean and you're boosting, gone.
Nos!
Nos!
Oh,
I agree, Quinn. That's angry.
we got more gas adjust shocks on the front. Those are super cool. I do like how the front subframe is aluminum. That's kind of different to see, especially from cars of this era. Most of them are stamped steel. Oh, and it picks up the front control arm. That's kind of cool. Then we've got a stamped steel rear. What a funky setup, dude. This car is gonna be fun. I've been wanting to play with one of these for a long time. This car had AC. It still has everything it needs, but we got a big old hole in that line. That should not be like that. That's not good. It was probably Sean. Sean did it. Why are you putting holes in my AC, brother?
Oh.
You're putting holes in my AC.
Oh.
I mean, at least you don't have to discharge it now.
Yeah, that's fair. This car. This wheel and tire package is totaled because of that. We gotta get new wheels and new tires. Mainly because they're XXRs, but also because there's a nail. So that we've gotten a good look underneath the car. I want to see if we can do some minor things to get this running a little bit better because it kind of runs really terribly. So we have had this car for a few months. It's been sitting around, and I would imagine it's been sitting around before we bought it. So I'm wondering if the gasoline end is just bad. So we're gonna purge all the gas tank out, which is gonna be really easy because we have an AN fuel system here. So all we do is disconnect it, key it on, and the fuel pump will do the work for us. Put some Sunoco 100 octane in here and see if we can get it running a little bit better and see if it runs smoother. I do also want to add coolant and see if we can take this thing out for a drive. We have zero coolant in. I have no idea why we don't have any coolant. That's probably something not good, but we're gonna see if we can put coolant in and see what it does. Because if it takes it and holds temperature, I don't know, something's wrong. But we're gonna put it in, see if we go take this thing for a quick drive. So let's get started. Here's the plan. We're gonna bring the car down like this. We're gonna put Will inside the car, and then we're gonna disconnect the fuel line, and then Will's gonna key on the car, and the fuel pump's gonna kick on, and then we'll have a drain tank after that. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And Will gets to sit back and relax. So it should not be doing this. We should have a nice steady stream like we did initially. I don't really know why it's pulsing. The fuel pump was getting a little dry, a little empty, so we had Will shut it off. There's a lot more gas in the thing than I thought there was going to be initially.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad our bucket held through. Got it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, can we use one of the new race jugs?
Yep.
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, we haven't used it yet, huh?
No, we have a lot of them. We haven't used any of them.
Alright, let's use it right now. We are gonna grab this, we're gonna use the funnel to fill that up, and then we're gonna use another, oh wait, we don't need another funnel. Just put that in and then we're gonna use it just because we can. Not because we need to, but because we can.
I'm so stoked to use one of these. So I'm suspecting we have bad gas in the Supra, and that's kind of why it was running terrible. Having old gas or having low quality gas can be detrimental to engine performance, such as idle quality. Some other things you can have with low or bad quality gas is buildup in your engine, carbon deposits, which is most of the stuff that I'm cleaning off of the top of the pistons whenever I do an engine build, like on the R32, for instance. In addition to the carbon buildup and bad running quality, bad gas can also hurt the performance of your vehicle, especially with something like a Mark IV Supra. When you're going for big boost and big power, you need a fuel that can sustain the power level that you're going for. Low quality fuels tend to detonate and knock and have other issues, engine issues, under high stress. That's why we here at throtl use Sunoco. This is 100SS racing fuel. Sunoco also has Ultratech available at the pump, which is equal in detergent quality as the Sunoco 100 octane and the race fuel they use at NASCAR. Now this isn't a NASCAR, but I believe having good detergents and good fuel is equally as important in a street car as it is in a racing car. So if you think about it, the NASCAR cars are going 200 miles an hour for hours on end, and they need a fuel that can support heavy cycling, wide open throttle around the entire track. That's why we believe in Sunoco here. We run Sunoco in pretty much all of our cars, and we absolutely love it because of its high quality, top tier quality actually, which is a really good achievement for a fuel. So let's get this Supra filled up, see if it runs any better. Our Supra's all filled up. If you guys are looking for some top tier certified high quality gas, head over to your local Sunoco station, look into the Ultratech fuel that they have. Ultratech will keep your car running cleaner, more efficient, and running longer. So now that we got fuel in the Supra, we're gonna put some coolant in the engine and see what happens. Hopefully it stays in there and we can get this thing running a little bit better. Let's head over there.
Well, we found the leak. It's on that side. Bottom of the radiator doesn't seem to be sealed. So I think it's just escaping from there.
Yeah, stop. Come back down a little bit, Will.
Come down.
Come back down.
Come back down.
It said stop like 30 seconds ago. I'm kidding, we didn't say anything.
How loud is it?
So this seam right here, this is where the end tank and the core of the radiator actually conjoin. All right, you can go back up.
God damn.
Sure. So that's where it seems to be leaking from, on the bottom left corner. I don't know if you're gonna be able to get out of there. Go. Go, buddy. But as you can tell, we're leaking. So we could probably drive it on this with it leaking. It would probably hold temp, but that's not good. So she's leaking pretty good too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can't really see it from here though.
Well, let's take this off. Let's see if we can take that off.
Oh,
dude, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't it. Unfortunately, that leak is a little bit too aggressive for us to go drive it, which sucks. So we're gonna need a new radiator for this thing, but we can at least see if it'll start and run better than it did with the junk fuel in there. So we're gonna take the car down, fire it up, and see what happens. All right. Let me get key on 2 until we have fuel pressure at the rail, and then we'll start it.
Ready? Let me know. Give me the point and shoot when you're ready.
Okay.
There it goes. Okay, key 2.
Fire you, bro.
Yeah, send it.
Oh, that was a lot better.
Well, that started right up.
It started right up. Before it was like struggling to kick over,
Yeah.
which is a really good sign. How's our RPM look?
Looking at 1.5, between 1.5 and 1.3.
So we'll let it idle for a second and see if it's on cold start right now.
Difference. Yeah. That was like half the time it was taking before.
Started right up for sure. And it's idling better too.
It's smoothed out.
Yeah, a lot.
It was kind of surging before. So before it was idle hunting a little bit, so the RPM would kind of go up and down and bounce, but now it seems pretty stable, which is a really good sign. So I think we have a really healthy motor to start with here, which is really good.
baby.
All right, well, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. We got our Supra on the rack, looked at, we saw some things that we like, we saw some things, more things that we don't like. So
yeah.
I think this car has really good bones. I think it's a really good starting point for the next project. But there's a lot of stuff that we need to address. There's a lot of minor things we need to fix. Unfortunately, we couldn't drive it in today's video because it's leaking all of its coolant out. We
broke the radiator.
Put half a cup in, it's already all over the ground. So This car does need some work. What was really nice was seeing the running difference after we took all the old junk gas out and put in some nice Sunoco race fuel. So that's a good start. I think we have a really good healthy engine for which we can improve on and build on, which is gonna be really nice.
Some of the things I noticed, like the rust that we sell underneath the car is just surface rust, which we're used to dealing around here. So nothing that we can't handle. I think we can turn this thing around and make it look like a trophy car.
Quite a bit of electrical work to be done as well. A lot of clean wiring to do, and maybe some upgrades on the inside we could do. So let us know what you guys think you'd like to see us do to this.
So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think we should do with this Supra. Should we keep the 2J? Should we put something else in it? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace! Nobody's gonna push me?
Get out. You can't be in the last frame. You gotta leave.